Hello, I want to take a moment and talk to you about dining out when you're on a low carb or keto program. Now, remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Okay, that's one of our golden rules that, planning our food, analyzing things, maybe looking at menus in advance is key to dining out. And we don't want to gain weight to kick ourselves out of our program, especially if it's ketosis. The wrong foods can cause an issue. There's three types of macronutrients that we should have in all our meals: fat, protein, and fibrous carbs. Now, depending on your program, these will vary. And that's where that fist palm comes in. Our fibrous carbs, we generally say look for a fist size. Fat and protein, palm size. Or if you're on a low carb program, the fat would be half a palm size. So typically, most women, that's about 3 ounces, most men, 4 to 5 ounces. But controlling this is important. Now, we've got good carbs versus bad carbs because we do need carbs for energy. Okay. Good carbs are those that are natural, that come from the ground or from a tree. Some examples are fibrous berries: blueberry, strawberry, raspberry. Those are really the only fruits we do in our low carb or keto programs. Fibrous veggies. Okay, remember, we're trying to avoid starches. Fibrous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, cabbages, Brussels sprouts, cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, beets. These are all healthy fibrous veggies. And that's what we want to look for. But remember, we only want a fist size on those. For most women, it's about 2/3 of a cup. For most men, that's a full cup. But if you sit down in a restaurant, which is what we're talking about here, and you get a side of broccoli, you hold your fist out and imagine stuffing that broccoli into that fist. That's how you're going to determine the size of your portion. If you get a steak, you hold your palm out. That's how you determine how much to eat. Take the rest home with you, but enjoy life. Bad carbs are those that are processed. Okay, we want to avoid man-made carbs. And examples of this, bad carbs, all starches are bad on a low carb or keto program, especially pasta, rice, bread, tortillas, crackers, things like that. Now, in our recipes, we do have some healthy homemade options for some of these. We want to avoid the heavy starches as much as possible. I also want to warn you to be very leery when you dine out or shop out for things that are labeled keto friendly or carb friendly. Many of these products use the term net carbs. They add fiber to the product with the assumption that the fiber will slow down the digestion. The American Diabetes Association does not recognize that term, net carb, and it is an unregulated term. So a lot of manufacturers use it because they can. There's nothing illegal about it. But I will tell you the Diabetes Association does not endorse it. And, a carb is a carb. And I always like to say, imagine you went to McDonald's, got a milkshake. If you put fiber powder in that McDonald's milkshake, it would still be a McDonald's milkshake. There is no ingredient that will reduce or eliminate carbs, fat, calories, or anything else. Nothing will get rid of that. So the key is choose carbs that are natural, okay? Spinach, broccoli, things that come from the earth. Combine them with protein, okay, and healthy fats. Remember, fist, palm, palm. So we go out to a restaurant, look for simple meats, simple grilled fish, shrimp, shrimp ceviche, things like that. Look for healthy carbs, go with it, mainly vegetables. Try and avoid anything processed. Follow that fist, palm, palm rule. Okay, that's how we're going to estimate how much to eat. So if I go to a steakhouse and I get a great big steak, remember, too much protein will convert to glycogen or carbohydrate in the body. We want to avoid that. So listen to your body for fullness, but don't overeat. A palm size is all I need. A fist size is all I need, those veggies, especially if I'm in a good state of burning fat. You don't need all that food. Too often we eat it because of the hormone response to it tastes good. So we want to watch out for that. Fist, palm, palm is critical. Choose the right foods. We've shared lists with you and just keep it simple. Proteins could be cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, great sources of protein, but also beef, chicken, pork, veal, lamb, shellfish, eggs. These are all great sources of protein. Just remember the size, about the size of a palm, about 3 ounces for women, about 4 to 5 ounces for most men. Use that as a good guide. Combine them with those carbs, those fibrous veggies. Size my fist, okay? And remember that fist, palm, palm rule, okay? Stop eating when you're full, okay? If you eat slowly and drink plenty of water and take your time, put your fork down between bites, you will feel more full. And too often we end up forcing ourselves to eat. Remember, we don't need to force ourselves to eat. We don't need to finish the plate. We can take stuff home with us. We can get a point to eat that at a later date and time. So you cannot fail. Just use that fist, palm, palm, and stop eating. Okay. We don't need all those calories. We don't need to eat that much, especially if we're in a deep state of ketosis. I appreciate it. Just remember, keep it simple. Okay. Things like eating out at a Chinese restaurant. Look for simple stir fry without all the sauces and out all the rice. Go to a Mexican restaurant, have carne asada or carnitas, and have lettuce wraps instead of tortillas. Salsa and guacamole is great for us. Guacamole is a great source of fat, as is sour cream, as is cheese. Steakhouses, great. American restaurants, great. There are so many options. So when you look at the menu, do not be scared to tell the staff that you are on a low carb program and ask them for alternatives. Can I get some lettuce to wrap my fajitas in? Can I do a lettuce wrap? Just start thinking that way.